Hey everybody, good to be with you again for another video devotional. I just want to thank you for those of you who tune in. Thank you for taking the time to watch these and um, to watch these videos in addition to the devotionals that I write. I'd just like to continue to provide these video devos just to kind of give another version of the written form. This week, this devotional is titled I Have All That I Need. And I'm using two scriptures. One, Psalm 23, verse 1 from the New Living Translation. The Lord is my shepherd. I have all that I need. I really like that translation. And then Paul's words in Philippians chapter 4, verses 11 and 12, NIV. I am not saying this because I am in need, for I have learned to be content, whatever the circumstances. I know what it is to be in need, and I know what it is to have plenty. I have learned the secret of being content in every situation, whether well fed or hungry, whether living in plenty or in want. Those two passages are really, really key passages. We are talking about contentment and having all we need. And this life and this day and age, it is really challenging for many of us to be content. A lot of us struggle with contentment. And right here, I'm going to be the first one to raise my hand and say that, man, this has been a huge struggle with me through the years and even just recently for various reasons. For the past month, these two passages have really been heavy on my heart, and I've been thinking about them a lot. I have to admit that I just find myself comparing my life and my family's lives to other people. Just looking at people that have more and get to do more. And just when I compare, I'm finding that there are a couple of immediate problems this presents for me right away. First, always wanting more. When I'm not content, I'm always wanting more. I'm never satisfied. And second of all, not being grateful for what God has already given to me. And that's something that I have just really realized lately, is that I need to have a more grateful attitude and grateful heart. I struggle with that. I see things other people have, and uh, just, it's just hard. I just see, and not, the attitude of not being content. It's so easy to look at other people's lives and think, oh, they have everything they want, they got it all together. And that is not true. My wife has said many times, you have no idea the struggles other people have. They might seem happy in one area, but other areas they're falling apart. So, it's been the struggle for me to every day be thankful for what I have. And I want to point out in the passage, Paul says in Philippians, there is one word that stands out to me more than the whole passage, and is the word learned. We spend so much time in our lives, growing up, going to school, learning things, right? Learning things. We don't just all of a sudden know everything there is to know, or what, certain points in life. Oh, well, we know all this stuff. We know it because we've read, we've studied, we've learned. Things don't just come to us naturally. I mean, there may be a few things in life with certain experiences that just come to us easier. But we have to learn in life. We have to study. We have to take tests. College, we don't just get a degree. We have to learn. We have to take tests. When we get out and we have, our career, we have to learn things. By experiences, we learn. And Paul talked about that, he's learned the secret of being content. He's learned it. He's learned how to be content. And it was not an easy thing for him. And in our lives, I know for my life, it's very hard for me to be content. And when we look at the passage in Psalm, the Lord is my shepherd, I have all that I need. Those two passages, the one in Psalm and the one in Philippians, those really go hand in hand. We learn to be content when we realize that Jesus is all we need. And that's very much easier said than done. And if everything is stripped away in our lives and we just have Christ, we have all we need, friends. We really do. We don't need big houses. We don't need lots of cars. We don't need fancy things. We don't need lots of gadgets. We need the basics of life. I've heard stories of people in other countries that have very, very, very little and they're content. Why? Because they have all they need. They don't have all these amazing, great things that we have here in America. So we are blessed. We have abundance, but we still so often want more and we're discontent. Because the more and more and more we have, it's like, where do we draw the line of what's enough? And that's something that I have to think about often in my life is what is enough? What will make me content? I want to wake up each day and be grateful for everything God has given me. And remember that if I have Christ, I have everything. He is absolutely all that I need. It is not easy to be content in this world, friends. It's so easy to compare and to be discontent, always longing for more. And there's nothing wrong with, if you're in a career and you're looking for something better for various reasons, there's nothing wrong with shooting for more, for growing more, for getting more, depending on the circumstances. But when in our hearts, when we're always wanting, 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 and feeling like we're just never content, we have problems. We need to go to the Lord and ask Him to search our hearts for that. So we got to check our motives. And I just ask that, challenge all of us that we just need to realize that we need to learn how to be content. We need to learn to be content and grateful for what God has given us. So that's our challenge, and I hope and pray that you are blessed. Take care.